Okay, so I would just keep going with this, and so that you're as much as possible creating four-sided shapes wherever you can. As much as possible, you want four-sided shapes, and then just work with this. So once we have these points in here, we can start to move the palm of the hand inward to start creating a. This isn't just. There we go. For instance. Start to create a palm of the hand that looks a little more like that. Um, start working with this. You can go in and not too bad. You just want to continue until you get this worked out. You can go in and add more. Say I need another swift loop in here because I want to make some adjustments. You can continue to add those. Like for instance, when I start to look at this, I realize this arm looks really long, but this upper arm needs some more definition. Also, I need an underarm. It's a little more underarmy. There we go. Get back to this. And you can begin to see that that's starting to look a little more defined. Probably need some more edge loops. Now, I'm showing you the basics. You obviously will spend much more time developing a character. I have like 15-minute segments to show you, but you get the gist of it in terms of how to apply the tools to start to build and create your character. Let's go to edge. Create a longer torso here. There we go. There we go. That looks a little more. And I'm going to run this out so you can see how it's getting there. Slowly. The more realistic you try to make something, the harder it is. So when you're learning the software, you want to keep your characters cartoonish. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. And when I say cartoonish, I mean like that. You can add little bits of detail, but you want to keep it. You want to keep it more. Huh? These guys are cute. You want to keep it more cartoonish at this point. You don't want to start trying to do anything like this. You will get very frustrated when you're trying to learn to get to that level of detail. Look at a great job they did with that. But this is somebody who has decades of experience doing this. Even this is more than you want to keep it simpler. That is more where you kind of want to go at this point. These are the kind of characters you want to shoot for. In fact, we'll do one to show you. You see, oh, this is kind of advanced, so don't try to take on anything too complicated. I've shown you how it works, but now I'm going to show you how to create one of these little characters. Yeah, this is more where you want to be. Keep it simplistic. Minions are complicated in their details, but overall they're a capsule that has sprouted arms. Look, they even have mittens, so you don't have to model all their fingers. They're kind of simplistic. They just have an extraordinary amount of detail, and that's what makes them complicated. That's a little too simplistic, maybe. Oh, that's fabulous. By the end of the semester, this is where you should be shooting for, that level of detail. You should be able to do that by the end of the semester. But for now, we're gonna keep it basic. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's just amazing what you can do with this software. Wow. Oh, that's an illustration. That's not a model. Those are cute. So that's something you could shoot for this class. That level of detail. Here, look. Here, this is great because you can see that's for Maya, but it's the same basic principle. You can start to see the planes, and obviously these are the vertices and edges. And you can start to see the, there we go, that's what I was looking for. And that's with Turbo Smooth applied. Okay, so, but those are how you use the tools within sub-object mode to start to develop and create a character. And so when we're done with this at editable poly level, that's where you're going to apply your mirror modifier. As a copy. I'm just zooming in there because there's a gap and there shouldn't be. Okay. There we go. And that's how we end up with identical sides, by adding that mirror. It needs to be under your Turbo Smooth. Turbo Smooth is always the very last modifier you add. And so you see I've now created a two-sided character by using that mirror. So those are the basic steps that people use to spend, again, weeks and months creating a character. And the more detailed, obviously, the more time that you would spend on it. Now, I want to show you. Say I decided I wanted to model this, but I wanted the head to start off not as a box, but as a sphere. Because I felt it was more appropriate. Okay, show you how to attach that. Make sure it's in the middle. Okay, and I'm gonna use, before I do anything else, I'm gonna squish it a little bit to make it more head-like. There we go. Your head's more of a flattened cylinder if you think about it. And I'm gonna have a neck come out of this, and I don't need all that down there, so I'm gonna change this to a hemisphere in which I take off the bottom right there. Now, because knowing what I know about edge loops, I want to take off the bottom just shy of that first. There we go. And that will allow me to sprout a neck out of that. Okay. I'm going to convert this to an edible poly. And what I want to do is I'm going to go into my element mode, and I'm going to select, oops, oh, I've already got selected. Okay, so I'm in my element mode. Okay, now I've selected it. Okay, so I've got the element, and I'm going to come down here to attach, and I'm going to attach that head. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to later on, when we get into rigging, I want to be able to rig this as a single character, and so it needs to be one piece, but it has two separate elements. You see as I toggle between them. And once I get to my mirror mode, figure this out. See, I have two separate parts to my character. You don't want to link the head to the body. You want it to be one character. Otherwise, your rig, when we get into rigging next semester, no, sorry, in 2 semesters from now, won't work. Okay, so now I can go back to my need to go to the bottom. And there's my neck right here. And I want to delete all of those on the bottom because I'm going to just let me grow it that way. I just want to get rid of all of these. So I would go around and get rid of all the and then what I'm going to do is select border, and I would select the border, except it would be all the way around, and I would extrude that out to get my neck. And then I can begin to work on my head and develop the head from there. And so that would still be one object. It is still one skin that we're later going to use this as a skin. And allow us to move that character as one object. So you don't want to link it, you want to attach it. You want to go into your element mode, and there you're going to attach, through the attach list, your separate parts and pieces. Now, some people like to do this with all their different parts. They like to create them and then bring them together. You may sometimes have issues later on with rigging if you do it that way. Sometimes. So it's up to you. You can, create everything from a single box or a single cylinder or a single sphere and adapt it that way, or you can add your parts and pieces together to create one object. Okay, so that's the gist of it. That's the basics. We could turn this into a very complicated model, but let's go back and create something a little simpler using this methodology, and show you where you should be for this course. Okay. See you in the next video.